Hi everyone, Nigel Saunders here. It is early in the morning and today I'm going to be working on the foundation for the greenhouse. Last night we had severe thunderstorms. It was quite exciting actually. So it's a nice day today, so I'll get to work. I've got the succulents back out on the bench outside. They were on the floor of the greenhouse down here. One thing that happened last night is that it rained really hard and my plastic came apart in the one spot here. And I got water dripping down on my lithops here. So they're kind of wet. And I'm very worried. So I've got the heater on over here. And it's blowing warm air on top of them. So hopefully they'll dry out and they'll be okay. So I've moved them. They were over here where the water sometimes drips down. So that was a bad place for them. So I've got my little ficus there now, which is doing really well. Yeah, so hopefully they'll dry out okay and won't die on me or anything. I think they'll be okay. It's a good porous soil in there and they should dry out nice in the greenhouse here. If it gets sunny, I can always put them outside. And sometimes you can see all the condensation on the roof of the greenhouse? And depending on the fold here, the plastic, sometimes it drips down on the benches here. So I have to be careful where I place the lithops so that they're not in a drippy zone. Beside the Sarissa, I've got the solar powered fans going. There's not much light at the moment, so there's only 2 of the fans running. The third one hasn't kicked in. Sometimes if I get my little paintbrush and I turn the fan like that, it gets going. So you can see it's going now. Just need a little kickstart. That provides a gentle breeze inside the greenhouse here. It's really nice on a hot day. My first job for this morning will be to pack down the pea gravel. Because it rained last night, I just want to stomp it all down so it's nice and firm. So here I go. I'm all ready to begin mortaring on the top blocks here. I know ideally, I should have 2 stakes here, 2 stakes at the end and a string line running between them at the exact height so I get them parallel, nice and straight. But I don't have any string or stakes, and I'm going to try it with the aluminum to get my edges lined up with that and the top surface. And I've got a level here. I hope it works out. I've got to get this done. I can't procrastinate any longer. So I've got my mortar. I got a thing of rainwater and a bucket to mix the mortar in, a trowel. So I think I'm all set. The weather today it was sunny in the morning and it's clouding over and we had a little bit of drizzle, but not much. Kind of gray skies up this direction. Bluer skies over here maybe. So we'll see how the weather holds out. It's good weather for doing this work, as long as it doesn't rain too hard. All right, so that's my setup. I'm going to begin. All right, I'll get the mortar mixed up. See how that goes. And I need to add some water. Mixing it up as I go, splashing it all over me. Okay, first block's coming out. So it's leaning. It needs to come up on this face. So I got to remember that. Put more mortar on this side. I got to wet these blocks down before I put the mortar on. Use my spray bottle for that. They are pretty wet from the rain, but I'll just give them another spritzing. Like that. Let's do the underside here. Yeah, that's pretty wet from the rain. Okay. Looks good. Let's get the mortar on. Okay, I think this is close now. Wow, what a mess. However, it might just work. Okay, on goes my block now. So I gotta line it up with all the edges. That's pretty good there. Press it down a bit. I need like a little tapper. Let me check my levelness. So it's got to come down on this side a bit. That's getting better. That's good, that's level. Okay, I think all is looking good. Block number 2, yeah. Okay, here goes number 2 now. Lining it up, dropping it down, like that. Oh, I don't know if that was very good. That's good. Level that way. I just have to line it up. It looks pretty lined up. Maybe, maybe not. About there. Okay. Check our gaps here. That looks pretty good. Okay, I got a mortar between here too. Otherwise, my blocks will fill up with water underneath. And it's starting to rain. Real professionals work in the rain too. But it's better to work in the rain than work in the snow. So I'm happy. Okay, I think that's good. I'm going to trowel off the excess. Maybe. And then I am going to use my finishing tool here. And get that nice and good looking. Okay, that looks good. I'm happy with that. Okay, on to the next one. About there. Looks good. Yeah. Press her down. Yeah, it is a little high on that end. So we do that a bit of tapping. I think that's looking pretty good. Okay, let's get this block on. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Let's get this block in place. I made a really good lunch, so now it's back to work. I think I'll just continue going around the corner. I'll have to stop here and get that block cut. I'll have to get 2 blocks cut, but I'll wait till I've got everything mortared in place, and then I'll know exactly how big to make those middle pieces. Get my block wet down. And in place it goes. I'll leave my space there for the custom fit block. So I'll start probably in this corner, do these 2 across here, And then I'll start down the long row here. Okay, that's open. Let's get some mortar in here. So this block is definitely tapered. You can see it's thinner here and thicker here. So that's, we're dealing with a lot of variables. Okay. I had to stop work on the top blocks here because it started pouring rain quite hard. And I just couldn't do the cement work in the rain. It was making the cement all runny and it was wetting my bag of mortar and things just weren't going well, so I had to come in and I was getting soaked too. So it stopped raining now and I'm thinking, it's still pretty cloudy, but I'm thinking I can get back to it. I think it's dry enough that I'm back to work, which is good. I'm hoping. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more blocks to mortar in, and then I've got to get the 2 cut for the middle ones there, so I'll have to do those tomorrow. But I'm hoping I can get these 7 done tonight. That would be really good. Then I'd be kind of on track. It's also turned quite cool out now. You can see all the raindrops on the leaves there. Yeah, I brought all my succulents back in the greenhouse for the rain. I didn't want them getting all soaking wet in this cool weather. So here we are inside. So the lithops are nice and dry now. Everything's looking good. I think I'll put the heat back on in the greenhouse because it's quite cool now. There, that'll keep the greenhouse warm. Yeah, it's quite cool out. Let me check the temperature. Yeah, it's about 15 degrees Celsius outside, which is all right, but it's kind of cooling off. I'll leave the heat on in the greenhouse. We'll get it warmed up in there. And I'll probably have to run the heat tonight because it's going to be a cool night tonight. The fall is a good time to be working on building projects. The temperature cools down. The trees out here get rained on a lot in fall and the temperature's quite cool, so they don't need much watering. I've gone like several weeks in fall without giving the trees any water at all, so that's good. So back to work now on the greenhouse. My IBC cube is full right to the brim up here. So over 1,000 liters of fresh rainwater in there. I may have to drain, you know, leaving just a bit in the bottom over the winter. I don't know, maybe I should drain it all. I don't want it freezing and cracking the, you know, the plastic cube. So I'll have to decide that when it starts getting colder out. It won't freeze solid until probably mid-January because, yeah, unless we get really cold temperatures, it'll stay liquid in there. It'd take a pretty cold night to freeze that solid. Julian got a whole workout center here at a garage sale, so he's busy pumping iron tonight. I am all finished cementing the top plates on tonight. I still have the 2 here, and I'm thinking I should probably leave that one open until I've got the gravel filled in on the inside. I don't know, maybe I'll just cut it and leave it loose. I don't know. Anyway, so there's just the 2 to go. It turned out fairly good. I wouldn't say it's perfect, but I still have to fix up the joints along this side. But it's looking pretty good. I think it'll be, you know, a nice base for the greenhouse. It'll be fairly strong. Should last a good long time. So if I do have any gaps between the cement and the aluminum, I can always either caulk it, or as I said before, make some kind of a rubber gasket or something between it. I think that'll work quite well. It's starting to get dark out, so I finished just in time. I still have to finish those joints, just clean them up a bit, but I'll do that once they've hardened a little more. And that's all for today. I'm Nigel Saunders. Thanks for joining me in the Bonsai Zone.